There's something fascinating about human behavior, especially when it comes to love and longing. A man may try to act tough, detached, or even distracted, but when he misses you, it shows in ways he can't fully cover up. His emotions will slip through the cracks, no matter how hard he tries to mask them. Missing someone is not just about words, it's about actions. It's in the way he looks at you differently, the way he reaches out without even realizing it, and the way his energy changes when you're not around. A man can try to keep it together, but when his heart feels your absence, his behavior betrays him. This is where most women get confused. You start to wonder, does he really miss me? Or is he just bored? But here's the truth, when a man truly misses you, he can't hide it, because missing someone changes his rhythm. It alters the way he shows up. And today I want to break down exactly what those signs look like, so you never have to second guess again. So let's dive in. When a man truly misses you, his communication stops being random or irregular. It becomes steady. He doesn't just text you once and disappear for a week, leaving you wondering where you stand. Instead, he makes a point to stay connected because your absence creates a gap he feels compelled to fill. Even if it's just a short, "How's your day going?" message, that consistency tells you everything you need to know. He's not reaching out because he's bored. He's reaching out because you're on his mind. Consistency in communication is one of the most powerful signs of emotional connection. Think about it, anyone can send a text once in a while, but a man who misses you doesn't leave it to chance. He'll call after work, check in when he knows you have a busy day, or send a picture of something that reminded him of you. His words aren't just random, they're intentional. And this intentionality is his way of saying, even when you're not here, I still want you close. Another important thing to notice is the tone of his communication. When a man doesn't really miss you, his texts or calls feel generic, short, or purely practical. But when he does miss you, his messages carry warmth, curiosity, and genuine effort. He asks questions about your life, listens to your answers, and builds conversations that don't just die after 2 exchanges. His consistency isn't about quantity, it's about quality. He's present even in digital spaces. What makes this even more meaningful is that men often struggle with expressing vulnerability outright. Saying, "I miss you," might feel too exposing for him, but his actions will say it loud and clear. Consistent communication is his safe way of revealing his longing. It's not about the words he chooses. It's about the fact that he chooses you again and again to share his day, his thoughts, or even his little victories. That pattern is hard to fake because it comes from an emotional need. This kind of steady contact also shows you where his priorities are. A man who misses you doesn't wait until it's convenient. He creates moments to connect. He doesn't care if he's busy, tired, or surrounded by distractions. He'll carve out a little pocket of time for you. And that's the beauty of consistency. It demonstrates value. It shows you that you're not just an option. You're someone worth making space for, no matter what's going on in his life. Finally, consistency becomes a rhythm. It's his way of maintaining closeness despite physical distance. You'll notice that when he misses you, you become a natural part of his routine. Just like grabbing his morning coffee or checking his emails, he checks in with you. Because reaching out isn't a chore, it's a desire. He doesn't have to force it, and that's why you can trust it. When a man misses you, his communication pattern doesn't lie. It reveals the truth he may not always put into words. When a man misses you, one of the clearest signs is that he starts finding reasons, sometimes subtle, sometimes obvious, to be around you. He might not come out and directly say, "I miss you, can we meet?" But his actions will speak louder than words. Suddenly, he's showing up in places you like, suggesting casual hangouts, or creating little opportunities to cross paths with you. To him, your presence fills an emotional gap, and being near you feels like relief. These excuses might seem small, but they are rarely accidental. Maybe he remembers that you love a certain coffee shop and out of nowhere, he suggests grabbing coffee there. Maybe he knows you're attending a mutual friends gathering and suddenly he makes sure to show up too. When he misses you, geography matters. He wants to close the distance and bring himself into your world, even if he frames it as coincidence. The beauty of this behavior is in its subtlety. Men often feel hesitant about directly admitting vulnerability, so instead, they let actions do the talking. He might say something like, "I was just in the area and thought I'd stop by," when in reality, he made the effort to be there because being near you feels comforting. These moments reveal that missing you isn't just a passing thought, it's something he feels strongly enough to act on. Think of it like this. When you're not around, his day feels a little incomplete. That absence motivates him to bridge the gap in whatever way he can. For some men, it might look like offering to help you with an errand, or just happening to recommend a restaurant you once talked about, so he can then suggest going there together. For others, it might simply be about spending time near you, even if it's under the guise of casual friendship. The point is, his longing makes him proactive. This effort to see you is also about reassurance. When he misses you, he's not just craving your presence, he's also looking for signs that you still welcome his. By showing up, he's silently asking, "Do I still matter in your world the way you matter in mine?" That vulnerability is hidden under light-hearted invitations or chance encounters, but beneath it all, there's a deep desire to re-establish closeness. And here's what's most telling: these excuses are not random one-offs. They form a pattern. Over time, you notice that he keeps creating moments to be in your orbit. He might not label it as missing you, but every effort to see you, even under casual pretenses, is proof of what he feels. His actions show you the truth. When a man misses you, physical presence becomes a priority, and he'll find a way to make it happen. When a man truly misses you, it's not just in what he says, it's in the way his entire energy shifts when you're around. You can feel it. His presence feels more alive, his mood lighter, and his attention more focused. Even if he tries to act casual, his body language gives him away. The truth is, missing someone creates an emotional build-up, and when he finally gets to be near you, that energy naturally spills out in ways he can't control. One of the clearest signs is in his eyes. They linger a little longer on you, as if he's taking in every detail he's been missing. His gaze carries warmth, curiosity, and sometimes even relief. That simple act of eye contact becomes loaded with meaning, because it's not just about looking, it's about reconnecting. A man who misses you can't help but let his emotions show in that unspoken exchange. His body language also changes. You might notice he leans in closer during conversations, angles his body toward you, or mirrors your movements without even realizing it. These physical cues are subconscious. They're his way of trying to close the gap between the emotional distance he's been feeling. Even small gestures, like brushing against your arm or standing a little too close, reveal his longing to re-establish intimacy. Pay attention, too, to the way his tone softens when he speaks to you. A man who misses you doesn't just ask about your life out of politeness. He does it with genuine interest. His voice carries warmth, and his words are filled with curiosity because he wants to bridge the time apart. This shift in tone is powerful. It tells you that he's emotionally invested and that your presence shifts something inside him. Sometimes his energy comes across as excitement. He may suddenly become more talkative, animated, or even a little nervous, as if being near you makes him feel both thrilled and vulnerable at the same time. Other times it's quieter. He might simply look more relaxed, more at ease, because being around you feels like coming home. Either way, the difference is noticeable, and it's not something he can fake for long. What's most important to understand is that these changes are instinctive, not calculated. He's not thinking, "Let me act this way to show I miss her." Instead, his emotions overflow naturally in his energy, his body language, and his expressions. That's why it feels so authentic. When a man misses you, he doesn't have to tell you directly. His presence, his attention, and his energy all shift in a way that speaks louder than any words ever could. When a man misses you, his mind often drifts back to the little moments you've shared together. And here's the thing. He can't keep those memories to himself. He'll bring them up in conversation, sometimes in playful ways, sometimes in more emotional ones. Maybe he says, "Remember that road trip we took?" Or, "That movie we watched together popped up the other day." These aren't random recollections. They're his way of keeping your presence alive. Even when you're not physically there, bringing up memories is powerful because it shows he's been revisiting them in his own private time. Think about it. No one recalls specific details about someone they don't care about. If he remembers the exact way you laughed at something, the restaurant you loved, or even a phrase you once said, it means you've left an imprint on his heart. Mentioning those memories is his subtle way of saying, "I miss those moments, and I miss you in them." You'll often notice that these memories surface in everyday conversation. A song might remind him of a night you spent together, or a smell might take him back to a place you once visited. Instead of keeping it to himself, he shares it with you because he wants you to know that you're still present in his world. This act is more than nostalgia. It's a form of emotional intimacy. He's letting you peek into the space where he holds you close, even in your absence. What's interesting is that men rarely bring up memories unless they mean something. Unlike casual small talk, recalling a past experience requires emotional investment. It's not just about filling the silence, it's about creating a bridge between the past and the present. By doing this, he's reminding both you and himself of the connection you share. In his own way, he's saying, "We've built something real, and I don't want to lose that." Sometimes these memory-sharing moments can carry a deeper message. He may not be ready to say, "I miss you," outright, but by reminiscing, he's expressing that longing indirectly. It's safer for him to say, "Remember when," than to expose his vulnerability head-on. But make no mistake, behind those words is a heart that's been reliving the times when you were closer. His memories are his way of reconnecting with you without having to fully admit how much he's been thinking about you. And the most telling part, these memories aren't always grand or dramatic. They're often the small, ordinary ones that linger the most. Maybe it's the way you both joked about something silly, or how you always ordered the same dish at a restaurant. Those tiny details matter because they show he's not just missing a version of you. He's missing you. Every memory he brings up is proof that you're woven into the fabric of his daily thoughts, and that's something he simply can't hide. When a man misses you, one of the most telling signs is a subtle shift in his reactions whenever another man enters the picture. He might never say the words, "I'm jealous," but his tone, his questions, and his energy will betray him. If you casually mention going out with friends or meeting someone new, you'll notice a pause, a little flicker of discomfort, or a sudden curiosity. That's his way of showing that he's paying attention, because the thought of losing your attention to someone else unsettles him. Jealousy, in this sense, isn't always loud or obvious. It's not about dramatic confrontations or possessive behavior. It's often much quieter. He may ask, "Who are you with?" in a light-hearted way, but behind the playful tone lies genuine interest. Or he might suddenly steer the conversation back toward himself, trying to remind you of your shared bond. These subtle cues are his attempt to protect the connection he feels slipping, even if he won't admit it openly. What makes this particularly revealing is that men often pride themselves on being composed and unaffected. Many don't want to show vulnerability, especially when it comes to competition. But when he misses you, his guard slips. You'll notice it in the way he hesitates before responding, or how he tries to casually downplay his curiosity while still fishing for more details. That contradiction, trying to act indifferent while clearly caring, speaks volumes. Another layer of this jealousy is how he changes his behavior after hearing about someone else. He might suddenly become more attentive, more eager to see you, or more invested in your conversations. It's as if the thought of another man being in your space jolts him into action. He doesn't want to lose ground, so his missing you translates into renewed effort. Jealousy, in this way, becomes fuel. It pushes him to make sure he stays relevant in your life. Sometimes, the jealousy shows through humor. He might joke about your new best friend, or playfully tease you about spending time with others. But behind the humor is truth. He's trying to mask the sting with laughter. This is his safe way of expressing the uncomfortable reality. The idea of someone else having your attention makes him uneasy because deep down he wants to be the one who matters most. The key to recognizing this sign is paying attention to the subtleties. He may never say, "I don't like thinking about you with someone else," but his body language, tone, and sudden intensity will reveal it. When a man misses you, jealousy becomes almost impossible to hide. It slips through in those small moments, showing you that he values you enough to feel protective, even if he won't put that feeling into words. When a man misses you, one of the clearest shifts you'll notice is in the way he opens up. Normally, men tend to keep certain thoughts and feelings tucked away. They may share the basics of their day, the surface level details, but they often hold back when it comes to vulnerability. But when he's been missing you, something changes. The distance makes him realize how much he values the emotional safety you bring, and suddenly he's more willing to share pieces of himself that he usually keeps guarded. This openness can show up in many forms. He might talk about his struggles at work, his future goals, or even his insecurities, the kinds of things he doesn't casually share with everyone. Why? Because missing you has reminded him how much he wants that deeper connection with you. You've become the person he feels he can lean on, the one he trusts to hear his unpolished truths without judgment. That's not just small talk, that's intimacy. It's important to recognize that for many men, opening up doesn't come naturally. They've often been conditioned to be strong and self-reliant, so showing vulnerability feels risky. But when he misses you, the longing creates a crack in that armor. He starts revealing more, not because he planned to, but because the emotional pull toward you is stronger than his instinct to hold back. His words may stumble out unexpectedly, but that's what makes them so real. You might notice he initiates deeper conversations, asking your opinion on something important, confiding about a tough decision, or revisiting old dreams he once brushed aside. He's not just filling silence, he's inviting you into his inner world. That invitation is his way of saying, "I want you closer to me, even when I can't always have you physically near." It's an attempt to build emotional closeness, to replace the physical absence he feels. Another beautiful thing about this is that his vulnerability is not just about him, it's also about you. When a man misses you, he doesn't just want to talk about himself, he also wants to draw you in. He'll ask you deeper questions, encourage you to share your own feelings, and listen more intently than usual. His openness is a bridge. He's creating space for connection that goes beyond casual interaction. And here's what makes this so powerful. Once a man starts opening up, it's hard for him to fake it. He may try to pull back later, to cover up how much he revealed, but the truth is his willingness to let his guard down is proof of how much he misses you. His openness isn't random. It's the emotional evidence that you hold a special place in his life, one that distance only makes more obvious. When a man misses you, it doesn't just stay as a feeling in his heart. He channels it into effort. He starts showing up in tangible ways, doing things to prove that you matter to him. This effort can look different depending on his personality, but the intention is always the same. He doesn't want you to feel distant, forgotten, or undervalued. The gap he feels from missing you motivates him to take action, and that action often speaks louder than words. You'll notice that he becomes more thoughtful. Maybe he remembers something small you mentioned weeks ago and surprises you with it. Maybe he offers to help you with something, even if it's inconvenient for him. Or perhaps he simply becomes more proactive about making plans instead of leaving everything up to chance. These are not random gestures. They're deliberate signs of care. His effort is his way of bridging the space between you, showing that you're on his mind even when you're not physically together. Effort also reveals itself in the way he supports you. When a man misses you, he doesn't just want to be near you. He wants to add value to your life. He might encourage you when you're feeling low, celebrate your wins with genuine excitement, or check in on things that matter to you. His investment isn't about grand, flashy gestures. It's about consistent actions that remind you that he's present even in your absence. Another layer of this is the sacrifices he makes. A man who misses you will find ways to prioritize you even when life is busy. He may adjust his schedule, carve out time just to call, or put extra thought into making moments with you meaningful. This willingness to rearrange his priorities is a quiet but powerful message. You matter enough for me to make space in my life. Missing you pushes him to act in ways that ensure you feel that importance. It's also important to notice how his effort becomes more intentional. Instead of vague invitations like, "We should hang out sometime," he gives specific suggestions. "How about dinner Friday night at that place you like?" This clarity is not just convenience, it's commitment. He's not leaving things up in the air. He's investing time and thought into making sure he secures that connection with you. His effort reveals his desire for consistency and closeness. Ultimately, effort is the strongest proof of how much he misses you. Words can be said casually, but actions require energy, time, and thought. When a man goes out of his way, when he invests more of himself into making you feel valued, that's when you know his longing is genuine. Effort is love translated into movement, and when he misses you, he can't help but pour that energy into keeping you close.